Good morning. It is Thursday. There is coffee. I got some world building that I want to work on today. And yeah, I'm just hoping for a bit of steady work. I think that the area that I'm currently world building in is in Freyja, which is the northern area that we've been kind of experimenting with a bit lately. And yeah, I'm just interested in keeping developing that. I'm hoping to be able to start running this area in a game for Michael at some point soon. Good morning, my Stephanie. How are you? Do you have coffee? I hope you have coffee. I'm okay. Okie dokie. I'm working on some NPCs today, so you can help me come up with character backstories. So there's two that I want to flesh out today. The first one is the governor of my fur trading fort, which is called Silver Crest. Her name is Sanda Matella, and she is 54. She's been in Silver Crest for 15 years. She's been the governor for 12. She is a level 1 mage and was an apprentice before becoming the governor. Good morning, my Laura. How are you? You're at work now? Okay. Well, I hope you don't have too gappy of a day-to-day stuff. And yeah, so for Sanda, she has long feminine hairstyle, which is a bit of a rebellion because short hair is relevant to the army. She was an army clerk. She has brown hair streaked with gray at the temples and dark brown eyes that are almost black. She has a sailor's face in that it's pretty weather beaten. There's a commonality of features. She's not overly, attractive, but she's not unattractive. She's just very neutral. She's very short, but she's got kind of an acrobat's body. She's not super strong looking. She's just very wiry. She's polite, but she takes no shit. And her background is army clerk. She ventured to Silver Crest at the age of 39, wanting to do something shockingly adventurous before her 40th year. She took over the governorship 3 years later when a wasting illness killed the previous governor, Varus Nonus, and her magical mentor, Reginus Vespillo. She has an anthropologist's fascination with the indigenous populations in the region. She has met the Umiak and seen the Lagos at a distance when she was an apprentice, but hasn't been able to travel out of the fort much since becoming governor. Today is a better layout. Oh, awesome. So I kind of need to flesh out some things that she likes, some things that she dislikes, and more of her history of what's happened in the fort for the last 12 years. So I'd like to come up with some stuff that she is personally like a fan of and not a fan of, and some other events that have happened in this place. She has a fear of water. She did cross a pretty major ocean to get here, so I'm thinking that one's not gonna be, well, maybe the fear developed after she got here. Okay. So how did she end up with a fear of water? Was on a sailing trip with the Umiak. And capsized. Near drowning, got pulled under by a beastie. Okay. Oh, that's actually more interesting. Fear of water and was attacked by Amorites. Along the coast. Okay, I like that. Thank you. The Amorites are the crab people. They look like driders. If you know what a drider looks like. If you don't know what a drider looks like, a drider is... Where's my monster manual? It's behind me on the shelf. Just a second, I'll grab it. Thank you. Dragons. Dragons. Drow, Priestess of Wealth. There we go. Drider. Oh, come on. There we go. Drider. These guys. So what I was picturing for the Amorites, is that instead of the spider subbody, it's giant crab subbody, and then still the humanoid torso. They are large monstrosities as well, and they inhabit the coastal regions and live in the deep water. They're amphibious, so they can come to the surface. Stephanie, no. Yeah, they're a thing for sure. You guys should see how incredibly cute my dog is being right now. I'm distracted by him being so lovely. I took a picture. Isn't he adorable? He's curled up on his pillow. I love him. Crab body all good, spider body nope. That's fair. Yeah, driders are creepy. Super creepy. All right, so when did that happen in her 15 years at Silver Crest? It would have been within the first 3 when she was traveling around as an apprentice. So let's say this was year 2. Okay. First saw the Lego when Lego came to check out the fort. All right, so I wrote down that she first saw the Legos when the Legos came to check out the fort being built. Lego made gifts of grain. In brackets, I've got teff, which is a type of grass seed. I think that's common to northern Africa. I would have to double check that. And salt seemed surprised when the humans didn't react to the salt as they did. She had a mild reaction to the salt because she's a mage. Okay. Boosted her casting reserves for 24 hours. So that was in her 3rd year. What has happened since she's become governor? There's been no mutiny. Things have always been pretty steady. I think that they lost a survey team to the Yeti. But they don't know it's the Yeti. Unknown force in the mountains. Yeti. Team was Are Yetis carnivorous? I think they are in the monster manual. Let's confirm this. Oh, Steph, I opened to your mimics. Yeti. Teeth like that, they are probably going to be carnivores. Devouring any warm-blooded creatures they encounter. All right, that answers my question. You'd think they'd be omnivores like bears. Yeah, that's true. They probably could have that going on. Mostly, I just want to know if they're eating humans if they encounter them or not, and I think that they are. Or an earthquake that shifted land and unearthed something. Well, this isn't a mountain region, so there's old geological forces that are happening, but I think it's more stable than what an earthquake would suggest. However, you can have animals that provide local earthquake-like um, effects. I'm trying to think, like belay do the ground shaking thing when they're tunneling, stuff like that. So maybe there's belay in the mountains. We should start a random encounter chart. I am spelling that wrong. Bullette. I had my L's and my T's mixed up. E-T-T-E. There we go. Ramirez. All right. So, lost a scouting survey team. That happened in year 8. There was an avalanche in the mountains. Yeah, let's do that. An avalanche instead of an earthquake. That works. Avalanche. What year was that? Year 10? Avalanche in the mountains unearthed a remorhaz that terrorized the fort. Sandy keeps the head hanging in her office. Hi, Patrick. How you doing? Oh my goodness, Brian, how are you? Long time no see, my friend. Lost your mate, hey, Steph? Okay. You're great. I'm glad you're great. That's awesome. I'm doing all right. I mean, honestly, not too many complaints. Lots of work to get on with, and I'm finally starting to get my vibe. Starting to get my vibe back for D&D. I was on my back feet when it came to that for a while, really uninspired and feeling lackluster about stuff. So it's nice to kind of have that back. Patrick, I'm doing pretty good despite my fame as a cyberpunk author has taken a back seat. The project collapsed, but then I thought it was a bit grandiose. I still work on my cyberpunk book. Well, I'm glad you're still working on it. That's exciting. Yeah, vibe for DMing D&D. I've been playing a wonderful game. Michael's been running it for me. It's a solo game. I'm playing a Fey Pact Warlock, and it's in a kind of Dark Ages setting, and it's just absolutely fantastic. I'm so thrilled with it. So I'm wanting to run something for him to give him a break from running for me all the time. So in the mix of trying to compose that and develop the setting, develop the NPCs, stuff like that. All right, that gives us Sanda. I want to now work on Caecilius Caecilius is a mage. He is adept level, so in D&D terms, he is a level 6. I've got him kind of typecast as a bit of a hippie. This posting is quite a ways from home. Think like the distance you'd leave from Britain to come to Canada as part of the fur trade route. So whoever goes wants to have adventure. They want to explore the great wide world, those kinds of motifs. Caecilius goes by Silly. He is an academic by trade. He is a researcher by definition. And he's kind of a researcher in that anthropological vein. He really wants to like get out there, see the world, catalog everything. One for definitely collecting specimens, one for documenting ethnographic transactions. I rolled for his age randomly, Steph, and I got 46. So he's not that young. And in the magical system that he's coming out of, he would need to be older in order to have achieved his rank. So he's spry and fit, and is very comfortably in his late middle age at this point. He came to Silver Crest 12 years ago. He's been here a long time. He's very happy being here. He has a theory about the Lagos salts and is obsessively trying to prove it. He is constantly and circumspectly experimenting on himself and sometimes his apprentices to see if he can unlock the salt's powers. He's well-intentioned but kind of reckless, seems disconnected from the reality of consequences. He is preternaturally lucky that he and no one he cares about have been sickened or hurt by his experiments. And he sometimes slacks on his chores because he gets obsessed with the salts. The previous novice got fed up with the heavy, boring rote workload and petitioned to go back to Caius as a result. So I need to know a little bit more about what he likes, what he doesn't like, and some events that have happened to him in the course of him being there for 12 years. Let's say he likes to, he has a still and makes his own alcohol. I'm thinking of the guys from MASH, how they had the still in their tent. He's a weaver. Picked up doesn't like being in the town because it's too busy. He likes the quiet to work. Okay, so he's cast silence on the academics tower because he prefers the quiet. Needs silence to work. Casts silence on academics residence. Okay. We'll try to eat anything. Daredevil. Oh, I cannot write today. His still is his pride and joy. Yeah. It would. So he only does it when he's researching. You're not wrong, Patrick. Research only. Yep. You are correct. What are some things that has happened in the course of his career while he's been here? Let's say that he served as unwitting nurse at the end of the snow fever. Got good at compounding medicines and solves year one. Built still out of random parts. Year two. When did Sanda meet the Lagos? Was year three, so that'll be year one for him. Met the Lagos He's tried to tame a bear. Has tried to tame polar bear cubs to be beasts of burden. Wasn't successful. Has a jagged scar across his jaw from a swipe. Year four. Okay, the magical taming effect had the side effect of blinding the bear. Feels guilty about that. The bear got loose and went back to the forest. He presumes it died, but he doesn't know. Does he have a familiar of some kind? That's a good question, Steph. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm gonna make a note and then think about it some more. Familiar? Question mark. Because that's a whole other consideration for Michael's character as well, because Michael's character is also a wizard. So does he have the option of finding familiar? Because find familiar is a fairly low level spell for a wizard, isn't it? Yeah, it's a first level spell. So in theory, he could do that right away. That is a good thing for me to pay attention to. I think the bear has, because of the magic, become awakened and is now some kind of sage in the woods. Incompetence. I feel like you're making a joke at my expense here, Mr. Patrick. All right, what else has he done? He devised a new magical incantation for lights that make them ultraviolet. This is helping his search for salts. That is year 5. Oh, imps are familiars. I follow you now. It took me a second. Sorry. Thank you for explaining. You deal in volume. Built the second story on the study in year 6 to create more living space. Built a permanent magic circle in residence. Year 7. What else has he done? He captured a Lego and studied it in secret for a month in year 8 until it chewed its way to freedom. He means well, but he's too busy concerned with if he could to stop and think about if he should. That's a note I need to make. Too concerned with if I can to consider if I should. That's important. That's a driving part of his personality. He's repeated this a number of times. He's been experimenting with farming sea salt in Arctic conditions. I don't know how possible that is because I know it requires evaporation, and I don't think you can get evaporation in that cold of air. But that is a problem for me to deal with the science at another time. He developed a more efficient way to distill water. Magically distill water. These go together. Okay. Who else is here? We need The head of the tavern. Is the head of the tavern male or female? Male. Okay. Let us find a name for him. Maybe they're siblings. One of each. I do not want to do this right now. Thank you, computer. You want twins, Laura? Yeah, we can do that. Fraternal twins. Okay. Let us name... I don't know that, Patrick. Let's name the boy Gallus and the girl Para, and the last name Decius. Tavern keepers. Sorry, Patrick. The amount of television that I have not seen would blow your mind. It is often remarked upon in my circle of people. All right, so Gallus and Para. Gallus is missing his left arm from the elbow down. Due to a cannon injury. Early in his army career, mustered out to Silver Crest with Para because he didn't want to be constantly pitied by former teammates. Faulty Towers is brilliant, hey? Para came to Silver Crest to avoid getting married. Much older man, parents gave her the get married or leave ultimatum, and she called their bluff. And took Gallus with her. A John Cleese show in the 80s that has a hotel owner that hates guests, but he has a loving wife, a competent maid, waitress, accomplice, a demanding chef, and a well-meaning waiter named Manuel. It's based on Cleese's personal experiences. Oh, interesting. That sounds like fun. Oh, Brian takes exception. How old are these two? Nope. We should have him stuffed. You're on your way, Steph? All right. Have a good one. Thanks for hanging out. We'll probably get wrapped up here in about the next 5 minutes or so. I'm ready for more coffee. You're off too? All right, Brian, thank you so much for coming by. It was really nice to see you. Hmm. Tic Tacs. Tic Tacs are awesome. I think we're going to wrap it up. So I'm glad that you came back in time for me to say goodbye. Laura, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Patrick, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Apparently, there's one other person lurking in the chat that I do not know. So, hi, random lurker. I hope you also have a good day. And I'm not 100% sure if I'm streaming tomorrow. I will post to the Facebooks and let people know what my plan is. That'll be my plan. So, yeah. Thank you for hanging out and take care of yourselves and each other, okay? All right. Bye.